Next, ride along as we take a peek at bike trails, what's new and what's on the horizon. Then, a day on the farm and a slow-paced life. And small parks with big perks. That's Columbus Neighborhoods, next, so stay tuned.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, transforming to become a digital provider of auto, home, and business insurance. And for nearly 100 years, committed to the people and neighborhoods of Central Ohio. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. Women in Philanthropy at Ohio State, changing lives by giving together. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.
Columbus is becoming a bike-friendly city, and the bike trails are beautiful here in downtown. We've got a ways to go before we're another Portland or Boulder, but with over 100 miles of bike trails, we're well on our way. Take a look.
The residents of Columbus have told us they use our trail system as a health and wellness, recreational amenity, get out, be active. However, what we're hearing more and more as our community continues to grow, and especially in the urban core, we're seeing more folks use it for transportation. And so in our goal set, we're looking at transportation and recreation in terms of connectivity.
As we're redeveloping and growing as a region, we know that Central Ohio is expected to grow by up to 1 million people by the year 2050, and a lot of discussions are happening at the regional level and local level on how that growth will be accommodated and how the communities will look.
The responsible thing from an environmental perspective and stewardship perspective is to continue to increase our density inside our urban core. The building of the density, building up, is a better environmental practice. It's actually a more cost-effective practice from a taxpayer standpoint. We don't have to build additional roads. We don't have to build additional city infrastructure that we have to pay for, we have to maintain if we can build up versus out. To do that, we're able to protect and conserve more green space throughout the city, and the trail system is a part of that strategy.
Our board at MORPC adopted a trail vision map that shows 733 miles connected within Central Ohio, hopefully by the year 2050. So we're going from 220 miles of trails today, adding another 500 miles. You have the outer belt here, connecting a lot of the metro parks on the outer skirts of Franklin County with each other. And then we also have a lot of loops in the central area as well. So you could envision this, for example, as an arts trail, or this could become the donut trail, or this could become the craft brewery trail. So we're currently working with a lot of our stakeholders to figure out what the experiences will be for residents. So it's one, a transportation system for them, but also a really fun experiential system.
In terms of overall connectivity, we're not able to put a trail everywhere. So our users are going to use on-road facilities as well, including share rows and bike lanes. And it's important for all of us to understand how to share the road and be polite and respectful to each other. Our users of our trail systems and our bike lanes need to respect traffic laws, and our folks in cars need to respect the fact that bicycles have a spot on the road just as much as any vehicle does, and they're an important mechanism of transportation. We're seeing over and over again families who are going to one car, or even families who are going to no cars. And so bicycles and bicycle transportation and walking are a part of their transportation mechanism.
I don't really think it's one or another. They all need to be looked at holistically, and trails are a really important element to building out a transportation system that provides options to people to get around. We know that more people are less interested now in actually driving to work. They don't want to sit in congestion. They don't want to have to deal with paying and finding parking. They want to be more active, and so creating that backbone system of an active transportation network is really critical for this. And the other part I would add is trails are actually a very strong economic driver. Look at Indianapolis and their cultural trail and all the redevelopment that's happening there. But you also can see it here of the neighborhoods that are starting to pop up along a trail system.
It is important that Columbus recognizes that we're part of a regional collaboration and that we can't do this alone. We need our suburban partners, we need the Metro Park districts, we need private partners, and we need nonprofit partners to help make this happen because we're going to need them to help fund it, we're going to need to help plan it, and to help make sure that it's communicated out to the public as well as we take care of them.
Next, a technology break down on the farm. Then, a peek at small parks around town. Now, when I think of farm life, I think of dust and hard work and wild-eyed chickens. I can't help it, I'm a city kid. Chickens are terrifying. Here's Jeff Darby, who tells us visiting Slate Run, a working historical farm from the mid-1800s, can be a relaxing afternoon outdoors. Except for the chickens. I'm not budging on the chickens. I don't want any problems.
We're in northern Pickaway County, going to the Slate Run Living Historical Farm. I've been looking forward to this visit because as a teenager I worked at a historic museum village in New England. So I'm going to go see what's going on at this farm that shows us 19th century farming techniques. It's part of the Columbus and Franklin County Metro Park system. They've been working on it for a long time and it's really developed into something both entertaining and educational. I think we'll have a good time today. This is a real farm, the orchard on one side of the gravel lane, vegetable garden on the other with a fence to keep the animals out.
Good morning, Jeff.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
Just fine.
Good
Welcome
to see you.
Metro Park, Slate Run Living Historical Farm.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I've been looking forward to visiting.
Okay.
And tell me a little bit about the story of the place.
The farmhouse was built here in 1856, built right here on the site. Okay. Pretty typical style little farmhouse.
Yeah,
a little bit of
kind of
Gothic
late,
revival,
yeah,
a little
late
bit of
Gothic
gingerbread
revival,
there.
right.
And the barn itself was built in 1881, so that's why we've settled on doing the 1880s. And in the 1880s, there was a family of 7 and a hired man who lived here, and they were farming about 300 acres.
Were they really? And that's a lot of people to fit into a house this size, but I think that was typical of the era, wasn't it? Let's have a look.
How about we start in the parlor where all guests are taken?
Oh, of course. It's the formal room of the house.
Yeah, our nice formal room.
Well, it clearly has period furnishings. I'm guessing these are not original to the house, but they're from the era.
We have nothing original to the family.
Yeah, things
but a
change.
piece like this might have been when the Omans first got married. Well, the parlor organ would have been a piece more
Well, you can
of the
tell.
1880s.
Right, and this communicates a sense of kind of prosperity on the part of the family, a pretty successful farmer.
Certainly, yes.
And the house itself is in excellent shape. It didn't take much in the way of restoration.
Actually, when the park purchased it in the 1960s, it was pretty rundown
Was it
rental
really?
property. It had been lived in till the 1960s,
Okay.
so it was modernized through the years. So you're standing on the bathroom wall right there. They cut a
Yeah.
hole over there and put the bathroom in here, made it into a bedroom, had a kitchen addition. But when the park got here, they took all the new stuff out, put the old stuff back
They've done
in.
a great job. I mean, it really has that feel of the mid to latter part of the 19th century.
And people are welcome to come in and try the stereoscope if they want, or
That's great that
try the
you know
piano.
you actually let them do things with these historical items.
Yeah, certain history places are there to preserve the artifact.
Right.
We know that these artifacts are going to be used up, and we accept that. Nothing is extra special. We know we can replace it.
Right. It's
But
the
what we-
educational value of
Right.
having
What
people
we're
learn,
keeping
right.
is the skills and the traditions and the feel of the place, which is what makes it so open and the public welcome to come.
That's
in
a
and try
great
things.
philosophy for a place like this. It
Very
works
hands-on
really, really
if we
well.
can.
It's not under a bell jar being preserved.
No.
In that way, it's being preserved, but in a way that people can really enjoy it and really experience what it was like to be in a setting like this in the
Yep.
19th century. But let's see some more.
Sure. We'll go into the dining room next. In the Victorian era, we of course have our dining table, we pull it out. Since we deal a lot with kids and visitors, we keep a lot of our toys in
Sure.
here.
Oh, yeah.
And we always say that, you know, the kids wouldn't be taking their loud, noisy toys into the parlor, so it sort of makes sense to have them in here.
Yep.
Now, every day we do set the table, we have the dishes, we do reproductions because we're actually using the things, but we make a meal each day for the staff and volunteers that are here. Yeah, to show what farms are all about, which is food, and that covers everything from planting it in the garden to harvesting it, to butchering it, to cooking it with the 19th century
Great. So you
recipes.
do the whole process.
We do the whole process
Great.
here.
Okay, so there must be a kitchen where all the food came from.
There is a kitchen.
So the plumbing looks pretty simple. Tell me about water supply.
Well, as you can see, there's no running water in the house,
Right.
no faucets or anything. There's a pump out back, and one of the children's jobs every day was, of course, to keep the bucket filled. So we've got the bucket here and the dipper. For hot water, you'd have to heat it on the stove, and you'll notice right now that there is no stove in our kitchen. It's out in the summer kitchen.
So, okay, so there was a separate building for summertime, keep the heat out of the house, but they'd have to move the stove unless they could buy 2 stoves, but they're expensive.
Yeah, stoves are very expensive.
So it's cheaper to pick it up and move it out to the
It
summer
is,
kitchen. In
and
the
it's
winter,
well
you bring
worth
it
it.
back. Yeah.
Even though it's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of
Oh,
work,
yeah.
and you got to clean it, and you got to carry it
I can see
outside.
that.
But we can stand in here and have a nice, comfortable conversation. We can mix our biscuits or do our meatloaf or whatever we need to. It's a lot of walking back and forth between the house and the summer kitchen.
Still, it's much cooler.
But well worth it.
But in the winter, you want the stove in the kitchen. It'll heat much of the house, I would guess.
Yep, first thing lit in the morning is the stove. There's no real heat, some heating stoves in the other part of the house, but they'd all go out at night. So a lot of people say, how do you know how to cook on a wood stove? And it's like, well, you know, after a while you just learn.
Yeah, you
like
just-
most things
you
here,
figure it out.
you figure it out.
Yeah, you burn it a few times and then you're okay. For the staff meals you produce here on the farm, all the raw materials have to come from somewhere. And it's been great seeing the house, but we also have a farm to look at as well, don't we?
Let's head out and
Lead
go
the
take
way.
a look.
So farming changed over time on this site as elsewhere?
Oh, farming always changes over time.
guess so, yes.
So when the house was built in the 1850s, there was probably a much smaller barn on the property. But by the 1880s, we're well beyond self-sustaining farming. This farm, 300 acres, 60 acres of wheat, 60 acres of corn, 30 hogs, 360 dozen eggs
lot
in
of
one
eggs.
year. So they're not just eating them themselves.
No,
and that's,
no,
of
no.
course, all recorded in the agricultural census of the time.
So it's becoming part of a market economy of agricultural products, going to serve populations in cities where you have increasing industrial employment because you've got the transportation network in place with railroads.
Yep, the railroad's just a few miles over. The canal's been in place for many years.
Right.
So more and more population of Ohio is moving to the cities by the 1880s, although 80% of the population is still on the farms in the 1880s. It's going to make
Yeah.
a very rapid switch here soon.
Right. Not till the 20th century you saw that really decline more. So even though we're out in the country and it sort of feels isolated in a physical sense, in an economic sense, it was very much integrated to what was going on. in
And there's
Ohio
a
at the
community,
time.
there's schoolhouses, there's churches, there's places
Right.
to
There
go,
was-
and
there was a
people
social
gathered
network,
together.
you're right, yeah.
Now our barn, there would have been a previous barn on site, but it's long since gone. This barn was built in 1881, and we know exactly when it was built because we found it, Mr. Oman was building his barn in a newspaper article in the Circleville Democrat and Watchman, so we know exactly.
So it was a
May of
news-
1881.
Newsworthy item. Well, this is a traditional barn. Now, this is that braced frame construction, the heavy timbers.
You can see the pegs, the mortise and tenon joints.
Oh, right. So it would fit into a slot in the vertical beam. You'd hold it in place with the wooden pins. No nails. So you've got stables over here for the horses. There's hay storage, hay mow. This is other animals over here, cattle.
All the animals that we have here are appropriate to the time period. So we have shorthorn cattle, we have Poland China hogs, we have Percheron, mostly Percheron horses. So the livestock and the crops that we grow here are appropriate to the 1880s. One of the few places probably in the country you're going to see 1880s oats and wheat grown.
great.
And that's what we're trying to do, is to give people a chance to compare the way they live now and the choices they make now with what a family in the 1880s here
I
in
think
Ohio
it probably
would
makes
do.
people think quite a bit.
Well, we welcome people. It's free. We're open 5 or 6 days a week, depending
Great.
on the time of the year. All that information is available through Metro Parks.
Okay, so it would be on the Metro Parks website. Great, good. Well, and the fact that it's free is just wonderful. I mean, you know, it's a wonderful park system, as everybody knows or should know, and this has to be one of the real gems of the system.
Yeah, it is.
So thanks so much.
Well, thank you for coming out.
I really enjoyed it.
If you want wide open spaces like this one downtown, you aim for one of the big parks. Goodale and Schiller come to mind. There are other small parks too, hidden gems all around the city that are good for conversation and great for contemplation.
In the city of Columbus, we have over 350 parks. Generally, the park is over an acre, typically having some sports courts, baseball, soccer fields, ponds, a walking path around them, or have the multi-use trail that goes through them. Schiller, Goodale, Whetstone, Westgate, Linden, some of those parks are a typical park that most people within communities can relate to or think of when they think of a park. I think just from the sheer volume of parks that we have, people are surprised, generally speaking. 80 of which are the smaller scale parks that are kind of a hidden gem, if you will. They're less than 1/4 of an acre. Sometimes they're about the size of a general lot size that a home would be on. They're a leftover piece that was not able to be developed for whatever reason. Pocket parks, like all of our parks, are a great example of supporting what our pillars are as a department: conservation, health and wellness, and social equity. And the conservation piece is easy. It's something that we're trying to, as a city, to purchase, acquire, have donated to us, whatever it might be, more green space. I enjoy Frank Fetch. I think it's a great park for a lot of reasons. The community, the way that it brings the community together is one of those. Just the sheer nature of the people that make the park what it is. They're all volunteer efforts. They bring care to the park on a daily basis, from deadheading some of the vegetation to watering to all of the parts and pieces that make it what it is. The Friends of Frank Fetch, combined with the German Village Society, they get together, they gather. It's a social place. Kwanzaa Park is probably one of our oldest pocket parks, next to, I would say, Frank Fetch. It falls within the historic area of Old Town East. It was a playground that was kind of adopted by the neighborhood. So we wanted to make sure in the rebuild of and the upgrading of that we continued to uphold what the community vibe of the park was. And it's bright, it's inviting. The neighbors surrounding the park, they don't have a lot of green space there, so for community events, that is the place to go. Portal Park, it used to be called Arcadia Park. It's on the corner of High and Arcadia. It is a combination of Clintonville and the university area folks. It brings the Clintonville piece together with the natural atmosphere of the vegetation, the constant dog walking, and that's just a dog-loving community. And then it has the university area with a lot of younger students, and a good place for the Ohio State students to come. A lot of times you'll see people studying and things like that. And the general area around it, I think, is captured there with the huge volunteer group that comes together, but oftentimes those volunteers are Ohio State students or the folks that live in Clintonville. So it brings kind of both communities together. We are greatly involved with area commissions, civic associations, neighborhood groups, nonprofit groups, friends of groups, and those groups usually help and steer us in some way of what they want within their community. We need to keep listening. We need to be connected to the community. We need to attend those meetings. We need to invite them to our meetings so that we can understand what the philosophy of the community is, and then in turn create that within a space.
Columbus once had a riding club, and believe it or not, fox hunting was popular too, at least for a few decades. This Curious C-Bus segment tells us more.
Curious C-Bus is WOSU's project where you submit your questions about our region, its people, or its history, and we assign a reporter or producer to investigate it. Today's segment takes us back to a lesser-known part of Columbus's sports history. Central Ohio is filled with parks where it's common to see soccer and baseball games underway, or joggers and bicyclists making use of trails. Decades ago, it would have been just as likely to see horseback riders trotting on that very same ground. That led Patricia Bonham to ask us about a man named Frank Talmadge and a riding club that once existed in Franklin Park. Born in Lancaster, Ohio in 1854, Frank Talmadge grew up to become successful in the insurance business and a prominent member of Columbus society. He was a well-respected civic leader whose birthday parties were written about in the newspaper. He was known as an avid equestrian who worked diligently to keep appreciation of horses and horseback riding alive as automobiles became more and more common. In 1925, his book, Horseback Riding in and Around Columbus, 1774 to 1924, was published. In it, Talmadge writes about the history of horseback riding from the days of the area's earliest pioneers to his present day. He was a member of several riding and country clubs, but in one chapter, he documented the story of a group of like-minded riders who met in Franklin Park in 1903. Some wondered, why wasn't there a riding club in the area? After some deliberation and a collection of signatures, a group of charter members, including Frank Talmadge, started what was known as the Columbus Riding Club. In 1905, he was elected president of that organization. Over the next several years, the club held horseback riding events and competitions in and around Franklin Park and at country clubs around Columbus. Talmadge himself was noted as the winner of several horse show events. Talmadge remained a horseback riding enthusiast all his life. He died at the age of 83 in May of 1937. His obituary in the Columbus Dispatch called him a famous horseman and an authority on equestrianship, who was familiar to nearly all Columbus residents. Now, while I was researching Frank Talmadge, Curious C-Bus got another question about the Columbus Riding Club. This one was from Rafael Lisboa, manager of the Wyandotte Athletic Club. And it turns out that although the Columbus Riding Club no longer exists, its hoof print can still be seen right here in Columbus. In 1933, the Columbus Evening Dispatch reported on the groundbreaking of a new hall for the Columbus Riding Club. The new structure would allow equestrians to ride all year long, day or night, which was a really big deal at the time. The paper said that the hall was the fulfillment of a long-held dream for Frank Talmadge. And on that day, he laid the cornerstone for the building, which still stands today, on Riding Club Lane, where it's home to the Wyandotte Athletic Club. Do you have a question for Curious C-Bus? Head over to wosu.org/curious to submit your idea, vote on which question we should investigate next, and see what we've covered so far.
Thanks for being with us, and remember you can catch all our episodes on columbusneighborhoods.org, plus see our stories on the WOSU mobile app, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you back here next week on Columbus Neighborhoods.
Trapped in my head, forget
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, transforming to become a digital provider of auto, home, and business insurance. And for nearly 100 years, committed to the people and neighborhoods of Central Ohio. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. Women in Philanthropy at Ohio State, changing lives by giving together. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.